Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? This is Easy Things to Draw. Today, I want to go over how to teach yourself how to draw, and I mean certain things, right? Tutorials are invaluable, as far as I've found. It's helped people jump ahead like crazy, and I'm not gonna devalue any of that. But for some things, you can kind of teach yourself to draw like as you're going, based on the same structure, because almost all drawing, as far as I've seen, is based on a lot of the same things. So let me talk about Let me really kind of get into it, and hopefully you can follow this. It's kind of an odd video, so be patient with me. So if you're the kind of person that likes drawing faces and stuff, like me, or I'm sure a lot of you guys, you know, chances are I'll just start drawing right into the eyeball. Just start sketching right in there, and I'll just skip over the stuff that I learned that brought me there to begin with, you know. I'll skip all the stuff about the structure of the eye, you know what I'm saying, you know what I mean? The basic, you know, the fact that there's an eyeball back there. I'll skip a lot of steps because you've already done it so much. You already see the matrix in your head for that one topic. You know what I mean? Or a couple of topics. So you kind of skip that. But I think that's the basis of why people come off as shitty teachers too, and why people sometimes there's this disconnect in the learning. I've noticed, and I see that a lot, especially in my college courses. And my college courses, I'll constantly see teachers that are really badass artists, you know, where I'm like, wow, that guy clearly knows what he's doing. And, you know, he's got a great system and blah, blah, blah. But he's not a good teacher, right? And I think it's because he skips, this is just, it might be nonsense, you know, this is me talking out of my butt. But I think it's because he's skipping those steps. He'll just go right into what he knows, and he won't go back to what brought him there, if that makes sense, you know. And I think that's a huge disconnect, and I see that all over on the internet. I'm guilty of doing that as well. You know, it's really, really hard. You know, myself, I'm still learning how to teach, kind of verbalize what I know in my brain or what I know intuitively, like I said. So I did want to talk about a couple of things, ways that you can teach yourself. First of all, let me give you an example. Really dumb example, by the way, but stay with me on this. This is an electric eraser, right? Bam. You ever use these things? They're pretty cool. If I want to erase something, that's pen. I'm not going to erase that. But there's no tutorial on how to... I mean, I'm sure there is somewhere, how to draw this electric eraser. You know what I mean? And if there was one, I'm not going to look for it. Let's be honest. You know, I've drawn other stuff similar. So what I would do is I would look at the simple shapes of what creates this thing. And from what, okay, in nature, everything can be made up, everything can be thought of as in three shapes. These three shapes encompass everything in nature. There's the cone, there's the sphere, and then there's the cube. Wow, that's a crappy cube. Sorry about that, guys. That is a crappy cube. Imagine a better cube than that. It's a little weird. It's like a box, whatever, cube box. But those three shapes you can apparently find anywhere. You can make up a tree, you can make up a person, an animal. You know, they're made up of these three shapes, and or modifications of these shapes, right? You can take that, you can take this and make it like a torso, right? Like a little oblong sphere. You can kind of pull that cube and stretch it out. You can same thing with the square, but apparently it's made of these three shapes. And getting back to what I was talking about, if you think of it, everything like that, you can think of everything like that, including this eraser. I mean, if you look at that, that's clearly a box, right? If you're looking at it from that view, that's a cube. Think of it, broad, simple shapes first. And then that almost looks like a second cube attached to it. That's from what I'm looking at. I'm doing this very fast, so forgive me. And then I see almost like a pressed cube or even a cone shape. And then another square right there. And that's just a start, right? That's starting my proportions out. But I didn't really need to learn, per se, you know, like everything about this thing. You know what I mean? I guess in depth I could. It's not like a human where, you know, there's anatomical nuances, you know, to humans that this doesn't have. But that's what I mean by drawing certain things yourself. Like how how you can do that. And that would be, again, seeing the simplified forms. Let me take another object. I wish I could take a person. Well, let me think about it. Same thing with people, though, right? With people, we think of the rib cage as a circle, the head as a circle, the body as cylinders or, tubes. You're thinking of that in broad, simple forms so that later you can go over it. And I think that's later you can go over it with the details. And that's really the key to drawing anything you want. You know what I mean? Any new thing you may come across that you don't find a tutorial for, that would be kind of the key to it, is seeing it in the simple shapes first. A lot of these other guys that even created tutorials, they're creating tutorials for things that they've never drawn before, right? That they kind of figured out on their own. And so I just wanted to go over that quick little tip on how you can draw anything on your own. You can kind of teach yourself. It's just a minor tip. It might be nonsense. Thanks for listening to it, though. I just thought it was very important to kind of address that. Please comment below on what your thoughts are about this, because I really this is probably one of the weirder videos I think I've ever recorded. So let me know what you think about it, and give me some feedback on what I'm talking about here. All right, later, guys.